Good day, everyone. I've got some pretty significant messages today. Our full moon messages are pretty crazy. So this morning, after my meditation, I actually when I first came out this morning, I found. Let me show you what I found out here. And unfortunately, he's been passed away. Little bat. Look at him. So, the spiritual meaning of the bat is quite significant. It can mean, negative forces. It can mean, negative energies around. This one is taken out. It can also be like a meaning of transformation, and this one's dead, right? So it's the opposite of. So the other one thing that I found this morning was like here we've got a whole lot of we've got a couple of hawks, and they're nested in the tree just outside my room here, and they've had their babies, so they're feeding their babies. And this morning I went out there, and under the tree was just all these crow feathers. So there's a crow that's been taken out. This is kind of annoying me here, this lighting. So I'm just going to turn this around. Let me try this. Is that better? I think the lighting's good now. Anyway, let me show you this again because the light's different, right? Look at him. He's beautiful, like poor thing. But, he was in the living room here. Well, in the main, it's not a living room, but it's a, whatever. I use tea tree on my hands. I use the tea tree on my hands to cleanse the cards as well. So I just shuffle with the cards, with the tea tree. Anyway, I was doing a big cleansing that this morning. I went out there and turned birds. I've got a big nest just out here, and they're feeding the birds. But all underneath the tree was crow feathers. Yeah, bits of meat on them and stuff like that. They ate a crow. They took out a crow. So for me, that's like Horus taking out a crow. So there's two energies, but that's not all right. What else was out there? It was a big dead toad. So 3 different energies. We've got a toad, a bat, and a crow, all dead this morning. So to me, that's very, very significant. And things come in threes, right? And I condolences to anybody that may have passed away, but this is 3 adversaries have been taken out of somebody's energy. So they can be taken out, like, this is like pretty significant, so most likely literal, So hopefully that's not the case, and they've just been taken out of somebody's life so that they don't have to deal with those adversaries anymore. These are 3 adversaries, you see. All 3 of those animals have a negative connotation to them. They also have a light connotation, but in this case I'm seeing them as like negative energies. So anyway, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so another thing, the Spirit was telling me about like the fire burning, and how, like, because I was kind of asking the question about how the plants survive after the big burn-offs. And I know that a lot of people believe that, well, they do, right? A lot of the fire regerminates the seed, right, after a fire. But nowadays, because the weeds are so bad on the farms and stations and whatnot, they do like massive burn-offs. But it like I was feeling like it was too much, right? And I was asking Spirit about that, and God was telling me that He was allowing this to happen for the changeover. Like, this sounds really weird, but like He's allowing the death, right? And he was saying how the seed is not being germinated. It's not being germinated. And it was interesting because it was correlating with also a infertility of some specific energies that were around. Like, you know, everything relates to everything else, right? So the infertility of the environment was also correlating with the infertility of individuals as human individuals. I just heard also animals. So the infertility is happening because there's too much. So then the actual seed is burnt as well. You see what I'm saying? Like the first burn or the light burn helps to germinate the seed, but because there's too many big burns, they are becoming burnt, right, and infertile. And the male, he was explaining it like chasing away the male from the feminine. And it was like the male energy, or the masculine energy, being the seed as well, right? Fleeing from the feminine energy, so it was the cup was not being fertilized. And in the case of the seeds were not being fertilized somehow. So it's something to do with the burning. So in the environment, it's something to do with the burning off. Too much burning off is affecting the feminine as to, it's like repelling the masculine. I know I'm talking about the environment, but I'm also talking about the masculine and feminine energies, right? I hope you can hear me all right, because I've got to be trying to be loud enough. So anyway, because the burning off was too much fire is to do with too much fire is deeming the masculine infertile, and so they can't fertilize the cups, and they were running from the feminine. Oh, this is giving me like, oh my God, this is giving me like the promotion of, and I'll say the promotion of same-sex relationships, with the men being repelled from the women and just mixing with the men. You see what I'm saying? It's like that. That's what the message was about. But it was referring to it on the sense of also in the environment is not the cups are not being fertilised because there's too much fire, and it's something to do with that too much fire of the masculine is being burnt. The men are being burnt. And so they're not fertilising the cups, the feminines. Okay, so there was this whole message of infertility. Now, okay, other messages. These are all the full moon messages, right? Yeah. Okay, so we've got a big arrow. So in my visuals, I got a big arrow, like I've seen just a big arrow pointing to the right. Some big arrow pointing, I don't know. And it was to do with letting go of something. And it was in a big junkyard. It's like a big junkyard. And this is to do with letting go. But there was a big arrow. I don't know what the arrow's about. But it was about a big junkyard. So this is letting go of the junk. And there's something to do with a sister, someone's sister. Something is remote. Okay, so there was like this big junkyard. So somebody has to release a whole lot of junk, right? Somebody's holding on to a whole lot of shit. And Spirit was showing me this big arrow, and it was almost like, chuck it over there. You know what I mean? Like a junkyard, and saying, put the junk over there. You know what I mean? It's sort of like directing. It's like a direction arrow. And it could be somebody's sister, because the sister was coming out. Somebody's sister needs to let go of a lot of junk. Okay? A lot of, somebody could be a hoarder. Okay, and now I've seen this remote place, right? And it was like a jungle, like a lot of trees, and it was a jungle, right? And in the middle of that jungle was an airstrip. Something to do with an airstrip in that jungle. Okay? Anyway, so that's that. So, I've already pulled some cards out, and straight up I was a little bit confronting. We've got somebody by the name of Fred, Robert and Inga. And Alric. We've got Alric, King Vescoff, Alric the First here. 395 of 410. It's got messages for us. Alric was a leader of the Visigoths, and he fought against the Romans Empire and was successful. So Alric's here to tell us something, okay? So the other thing that came out, which was quite disturbing, was this. And it came out together. Poison and children. Somebody's poisoning children. Okay, so I'll put these ones over here. Fred could be also, because he came out with Alric as well, he could also be here as a messenger, as Alric the First. That was the other thing I got about this, the germination of the seed. Spirit was saying about, actually God was saying, not just Spirit, it was God direct, right? He's allowing something to happen, and it's to do with this, the depletion of the land, is allowing that to happen, and according to, depending on how people, or God's people, respond or listen to the messages, or listen to God's message, right? That they will be plucked out, and those that have no faith, those that aren't of God, will be depleted with that environment. But those of God will be plucked out of a situation and then placed in their correct land. He was talking about being placed in the correct places. You know, like we know that, you know, the whole world's all mixed up, you know, of nationalities, people in other countries, and, you know, people have been moved around all over the world for various different reasons. But Spirit was talking about the chosen being plucked out, chosen being those of faith, right? Plucked out and put in their own land. Alright? So this has been plucked, people are being plucked out of places that have been decimated, right? And removed and put into fertile ground. Okay, so this is poison children. So this could be to do with the landscape being poisoned as well. But I don't know. So, but we've got justice is here, right? We have the Queen of Swords. This is bringing this Queen of Swords is bringing justice. We have a Queen of Pentacles. This is prosperity. This is stability. This is growth. Growth. See, this could be the land, right? The Queen of Pentacles, the land. See the abundance all around her? This is the landscape. After the storm, see the stormy clouds? This person's bringing the storm that clears the land. Oh wow! And then the rebirth, the abundance. Storm, and then abundance. After the death and transformation. This is ending. See all those people at the bottom there all falling down? Those that are not of God are falling down. And then there's those that rise victoriously for the transformation. We have a King of Wands who's in reverse. This is an arrogant individual. This can also be symbolising a whole nation, the arrogance or arrogance of a whole nation. Yep. And then we have the Hierophant. This is symbolising the church. The higher authority is God, the higher authority. Then we have an Empress. Look, she's sitting in abundance. The conflict card is the one that came out first. The conflict, and then came the Empress. The Empress could be bringing conflict, or somebody could be bringing conflict to the Empress. That could be from the church, or this could be the Empress bringing in the higher authority, like working with God, basically, to take out the arrogant energy, right? And then there'll be a rebirth. And prosperity with the Queen of Pentacles. After the storm, this is the authority. Spiritual authority. This is wisdom, and this is spiritual authority, wisdom, knowledge, and justice, and because justice is here. Okay, so let's do some clarifying. Just So with those three energies that were taken out this morning, the bat, I did a lot of cleansing this morning, like I was just cleaning around everything. So the bat, the crow, and the toad, that says a lot, right? So these are three energies that are being, I feel there's two masculine energies and one feminine energy. And they could be responsible for poisoning the minds of children. I got one is to do with the like the masculine on the masculine, it doesn't have to be just masculine, but same-sex energies poisoning the minds of the children. Like, it doesn't mean, I've got nothing against with people that are the same gen, the LGBTQ, but this is not about the people that are normally that way. This is about the promotion of that to the children with social media, music, movies, all that kind of thing. So there's a promotion of gayness, It's not like that, and that's actually demonising real gay people, That's what it's doing. But it's creating a situation of infertility. Okay, so that's to do with one of the energies. That's a masculine energy that's coming out here. Then we've got a feminine energy who is masculine in their way they are. So they're kind of masculine in the feminine. Oh, this could be also LGBTQ, but this is to do with the mental health industry. Mental health and the promotion of mental illness. Oh, shit. So this person there's been a lot within the. So this is not an individual. This is a whole. None of this is. It can be broken down to individual energies, but these are energies that have, a broad influence over society. So that can be an organisation, right? And then you've got the head of the organisations, and I'm getting here that mental health organisations are responsible and being promoted as an industry, so therefore keeping people in a mental. I just heard in mental anguish, so exacerbating. I remember I was working with this organisation. I won't say what organisations because I don't want to get into trouble, right? But I was working with this organisation, and they were working with young individuals, like people that were struggling at school, in their high school years. I think they were working with younger ones as well, but in this particular time that I was there, they were working with high school children that were struggling because they were struggling at home with for whatever reasons, like dysfunctional family situations and whatnot, and so people can't you know bunker down at school and study and all that sort of stuff because it's too much trauma going on in their households. And so they were targeting these kids in this organisation and supposedly educating them or getting them through. They were to a degree. But in that organisation, they would bring in people from the mental health units and the social security authorities, and they were leading these young people and they were asking them questions, and so it was like they were led questions like do you ever feel suicidal, do your parents do this or that, and like they were really promoting to them that they may have mental health issues and need to be helped, which they did, right, because they were from dysfunctional homes. But all they needed was proper education and love and nurturing, right? But what was happening? So in the later years from there, they are all being directed towards the mental health industries to apparently help them and counsel them. But what appeared to be happening was that they were working to medicate. So they were encouraging medication. Now this is another experience that I had all around that same time, and I needed to actually get some help from the social securities myself at the time. And anyway, I had an appointment to talk to them, and I missed an appointment just because I just missed it, right? Forgot something. Anyway, when I got there, they said to me, "Is there a reason that you forgot the appointment? Is there a reason why you can't remember your appointments?" And I said, "No, it's only once. It's not like a problem that I always miss my appointments. It was just I missed that appointment." I said, "It's just bad management for the day. You know what I mean? Like, no big deal, right?" And I apologised, right? But then they said, "You can go to your doctor and you can get a prescription for that because you can get and then you can get on a mental health benefit so that instead of actually getting a benefit to before to help you get into employment." So they were saying I had a mental health issue because I forgot an appointment, and were encouraging me to go and get a certificate. I could go and get a certificate from the doctor so that I could get on a mental health benefit. So they're pushing people into that mental health. Once people are labelled with having a mental health issue, which we all have mental health, right? Like, and this is where I was picking up at this other organisation where they were bringing these authorities into this situation where they were supposed to be educating these kids, helping them with their education. But then they were promoting and saying that, they were asking about their emotional responses to things. And what I was picking up, because I was just listening in, is that they were taking normal emotional responses to traumas, or even just well, not even anything that was like over traumatic, you know, like just, you know, maybe parents might drink too much or you know, like, but whatever the issues might have been, they were asking the young people how they responded to certain things that, that happened to them, right? So it was like leading them to feel that they had a mental health issue because of what they were experiencing in their world. Not that it's a normal human response to trauma. It's like saying there's something wrong with you because you're experiencing this and you're behaving in this way. Not that the actual trauma itself was the problem, it was that their response to the trauma was the problem, and therefore they had a mental health and therefore needed to be medicated. And these are young teenagers, medicating them, you know, like putting them into that category of you know, making them think they were abnormal, right? Anyway, so this energy that I'm picking up is to do with that situation. So we've got a situation of uh, being promoted to be. So this seems to be what this is coming out of when you know, it's talking about poison children, right? Poisoning the minds of children. So I mean, I was talking about, and then we've got like social media, and we've got music industry, movies, all that that's poisoning the minds of young people as well. But this is additional, so additional promotion of mental health issues, and the additional promotion of sexual confusion, you know. Okay, so now I've got another energy. So there was three, right? So these are the three that have been taken out. And we're talking about, this is not necessarily individuals. These are, this is another thing that I'm getting, is that these have been strategies of the 17 goals of the agenda. And I'm not going to say what agenda that was, because again, I don't want to be getting into trouble from YouTube. So 17 goals of agenda, these particular promotions are part of that. So anyway, this last energy is the masculine energy being promoted to poison the minds of their own children. Wow. Towards the feminine energy. This is like demonizing, this is the femme fatale, right? This is demonizing the feminine energy. You know, when they're talking femme fatales and that sort of thing, that's what this is about. So this is the masculine energy demonizing the feminine for being feminine. This is like a jealousy. This is a jealousy of the feminine energy. And this is giving me that the gender role confusion again. Somebody's confused in their gender and their purpose, and what they're jealous of the feminine energy. Wow. Wow, Elric just gave me, oh, and Fred. Okay, so these two masculine energies from the past, spirit guides, are giving us information, right? Wow. Now, Elric was a Viking, right? He was the king of the Visigoths. Now, the Vikings were known for rape and pillage, right? This other person here, this energy here by the name of Fred, also was in that same energy, because that was promoted way back, right? We're talking about 395 the rape and pillage, the demasculination of men to then have that resentment of the feminine and the children. Spirit. The feminine and the children. So, when we're talking about rape and pillage, the rape of the feminine and the trauma of the child, right there too, right? But also, masculine children. So to demasculinate the masculine causes them, I've spoken about this many times before, it's interesting this is coming out like this, causes them to always be chasing their power because they've been demasculinated, and so they blame, like they've got this jealousy towards the woman and the child. You're jealous of your own children, that's fucking weird, but anyway. The demasculination causes them to then always be trying to assert their power over the feminine and the children. So they can they respond a lot in a very negative way and a violent and uncompassionate way, with a lot of apathy. They become apathetic and don't care, you know what I mean? So they lost that whole caring value to their spirit. So their spirit has been broken. This is the breaking of the spirit, the demasculination of the men, and causing them to just be loyal to their same sex. It's this King of Wands here in reverse. He's in reverse, right? He fucks men and boys. I know that's a really, really bad way to say it like that, I'm sorry. But this is it. This is the issue. This is the ultimate betrayal, right? Like, you think about that. A father and a son. Or a father and even a daughter is violated to break their spirit. And this is the poisoning of the children, breaking the spirit of the children with violations. And this is the cause of the mental health issues, primarily, because this is what's bringing in the violence as well. The violence comes with it because they're always trying to assert their authority because they've lost their masculinity. I'm getting a lot of emotion here from someone. Fred, thank you for your messages. And Alric, these are energies of the past. Wow. Okay, so let's do some clarifying here. Just keep it, I'm feeling this, having to just cleanse my hands, like just over and over, like cleansing. So please cleanse your space, your physical energy, your physical body, just cleanse everything right at this time, because anyway, this is what's ending here, like with those three bodies, the bat, the crow, and the toad. These are the entities that have been promoting this. These are the negative spirits that have been, and I'm not saying that the bat and the crow and the toad are all bad, they're not. It's just in this energy that we're in now. That these symbolic energies are what's being used to bring the message. Okay, because these, we know that the crow is a messenger, right? And he was taken out. So you see that the crow is a messenger, and he was taken out by the. So somebody's messages are being taken out. I better be careful with YouTube, right? Because mine keeps coming in and out too, depending on what I'm saying. Okay, and then we had that, like the bat is a symbol also of transformation and new life, right? It's not only a symbol of death. Death is also a symbol of new life, right? Because we've got the ending, but then we've got the new beginning, right? A new life, a new cycle. And the toad, I don't know. I don't know what the symbolic messages of the toad are. So I'm not talking about a frog, I'm talking about a toad. Like, the toad out here is like a cane toad, right? They're a real pest here. They're poisonous. So there we go, poison. The poison's been taken out. Thank you, Spirit. The poisonous. The poison. Wow. The poison is coming out of the children. Spirit's redeeming the children. Spirit is redeeming the children at this time. Did I not say pluck them out and put them in their right place? Let me pull that up. Jeremiah's complaint, and God answers, right? Oh, I've got my glasses. Where's that bit? For the sword of the Lord shall devour. So I'm just reading the verse 12 and 13, which is the last two. Oh no, not quite. Hang on, no, I'll go back to 10 verse. Many rulers have destroyed my vineyard. So there we go, right? So, and Elric was telling us about this. He was a ruler, right? And he was up against the Romans. Many rulers have destroyed my vineyard, destroyed their fruit, the children, right? They have trodden my portion underfoot. Yeah, like just breaking the spirits of the children. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness, talking about the environment as well, right? And also the spirit of the children, making them vague, making them without empathy. Because what happens to abused children is they become apathetic also. It prevents the growth of the frontal lobe. They have made it desolate. Desolate, it mourns to me. The whole land is made desolate because no one takes it to heart. See, nobody gives a shit, right? The plunders have come on all the desolate heights in the wilderness. So there's the symbol of the actual landscape, but it's actually like literal as well, right? Even on the landscape, as well as on the people and on the children. For the sword of the Lord shall devour from one end of the land to the other end of the land. So this is why the land's been taken out, because it's going to devour and cleanse. That's what the fire is all about. No flesh shall have peace. Oh my God. They have sown wheat but reaped thorns. So, yeah, see, they've created the children, And they've created these children with no apathy. They have poisoned them, right? That's what this is about. Poisoning the children. They have sown wheat but have reaped thorns. So they come back on them, and they will be angry, right? So they become angry with their parents, and because of the abuses that they've suffered, right? They have put themselves in they have put themselves in pain, but do not profit. But be ashamed of your harvest. So be ashamed that you have created a soulless harvest. This is like creating a fruit with no nourishment, right? Because of the fierce anger of the Lord. This says the Lord against all my evil neighbours who touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. Then it shall be, after I have plucked them out, that I will return and have compassion on them and bring them back, everyone to his heritage. See, that's taking people back to their own place, right? And everyone to his land. So this is plucking them out of that and then rebirthing them on their own land, in their own place, where they should be. It's putting everything back in order, right? And that's of the order of the mind as well. And it shall be, if they will learn carefully the ways of my people, to swear by my name, as the Lord lives, as they taught my people to swear by Baal, then they shall be established in the midst of my people. But if they do not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, says the Lord. So, if they don't change their ways and seek God, because of their evil ways, they're just going to be taken out. That's it. They won't be reborn. You know, they won't be allowed to be recreated in any way. Okay? So this is where we're at. This is amazing reading. Holy Spirit, oh God, I feel like I could cleanse my hands again, right? Like every time I touch on something like that. Okay. So let's do this one. Like this one's always gives me a good historical read. The Learner Man Oracle. Okay, so what do we need to know here, please? Spirit, the justice. Which way we're going to go? Well, let's have a look at this conflict first. Clarify the conflict with the Empress. The conflict with the Empress, right? That's the masculine energy going up against the feminine energy, right? Too much masculinity coming down on the feminine energy, and this is what the conflict is. Oh, I don't even need any cards, I'm just getting it straight up, right? Ooh, here we go. Valerie. We have the Seven of Cups, which is illusions. The illusions, and we have the tree. The shadow under the tree. 5-5 is also transformation. And this is the 5 of Wands. So we've got 5-5-5. I just heard 5 transformations. So there must be 5 processes. Illusions. 5 wrongs. Is there 5 wrongs done to the feminine energy? 5 illusions. Somebody was causing this is the femi-fatal. This is blaming the woman 5 times in 5 different ways. So yeah, this is Adam, this is Eve too, right? You know, she was blamed for all of the world's sins. The feminine energy, right? 24. A Knight of Cups. This is the jealousy of the feminine energy. This is the masculine energy gone gay, I can put it like that. Like, but it's a jealousy of the feminine energy. I'm not saying this about all gay people, right? It's not what this is about. This is just about what has happened in the world entirety, about the imbalance of masculine and feminine energy. A man can be feminine and a woman can be masculine. The gender doesn't really, that's not it, right? It's about it's about the energies of, you know, like the nurturing feminine energy is symbolized by the Empress, because that's the nurturing energy, and the masculine energy is more of the battle energy, you know what I mean? The provider, but they also can be nurturing. But this is where we're meant to have the balance of the two within one body, right? Masculine and feminine energies are meant to be balanced within all of us, whether we're male or female, all right? So that it's about the energy, not the actual physical man or woman, you know what I mean? We have 22, although in the physical, that is how the energies have been demasculinated in the actual physical to well, this is also like the demasculination of the feminine, because like I'm saying, the masculine and the feminine is in every person, right? So this is also put the feminine into an imbalanced way where they feel, well, they've had to become more masculine because the masculine energies become more feminine. I know it's like gender roles switching, right? But you know how we have a lot of feminine energies that have to provide for themselves because the masculine's not there for them taking that role on, because they were jealous and want to be feminine. You know, I said a little post on Facebook the other day, and they had this and no offense to transgender people or anything, right? This is just how it is, right? Anyway, they had a picture of a transgender man, and he's standing next to his car, and then he's got a flat tire, and he's got his handbag, and he's got a dress on, right? And he's waiting, and the feminine, the actual woman, is changing the tire, and he's standing there getting the tire changed for him. You know what I mean? You know, like, because, you know, like, traditionally, you know, the woman, you know, the man comes to rescue the woman in distress with a flat tire, you know what I mean? And this is like the male energy being jealous because they're getting those things done for them, right? You know what I mean? Like, but it's just talking about that gender switch. But that's not how it's supposed to be. We're all meant to have the balanced energy. You know, like, I mean, all men need to be nurturing and loving and kind to their children, as they are also have to teach them to be protective of themselves and being able to provide and that kind of thing. But also the feminine energy does too. They've got to be able to change that tide themselves as well, and not just expect a man to do it. See, that's an imbalance as well. You know what I mean? Like, we've got to be able to balance the two. Like, the man is the provider, traditionally. The woman is the receiver. So it's the provider and the receiver, the cup and the wand, right? One gives and one receives. That's the order of things. You know what I mean? But also within ourselves, we've got to be able to give ourselves a cup of love, as well as provide ourselves with a wand. You know what I mean? It's all got to be balanced. Whew, anyway, that was very long-winded, and I feel like this is going to be a very long reading, right? But anyway, I think we're getting the message out there, right? So, clarify the illusions with the Empress, and this is creating those demonisation of the woman. Look at how she's looking at herself in the mirror. The demonisation. So this is a self-reflection. We've got 22, 22. This is balance. The balanced, both sides. This is the Queen of Pentacles. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. The balance and the prosperity. This is also giving me what path to take. You know, let's see these paths down here. She's like looking at herself in the mirror. Now, which way do I go? This is like questioning, what gender am I? And you see how this is going? She's looking, this could be a masculine as well as a feminine. So she's looking at herself in the mirror going, well, what do I want to be? Who do I want to be? We have a choice. We can choose to be more masculine, or we can choose to be more feminine. We're free to be able to make that choice. But at the end of the day, we have to have the balance of the masculine and the feminine within ourselves as an individual. So the illusion here is that we have to be one or the other. That's the illusion. That's the battle of the self. Because it becomes so imbalanced with the church. I was just about to say the church. And this is coming out with the Hierophant. Because they, oh my God, sorry. What I just seen just then was just horrible. I don't even want to say it. Ugh. They've got the Six of Wands. This is a victory. And they've got 36, 36, which is 9, 9. So this is the end of this cycle, right? So this is the end of this power being projected in this way, and the poisoning of the children, right? This is the end of this. And we've got 5 here. We've got 5, 5, 5, 5. Transformation or change. This is a change. And then we've got 9, 9, 36, 36, and 6. So see, the church was used, and this is the demonised. This is what's turned a lot of people away from God as well. Is the way the churches were used, and I'm not just pointing the finger at any one church here, but the way that the church and religion was used against the people to promote the agenda, right? The agenda. This goes back a long way with the disempowerment of the demasculination of men. We know that the churches were involved in that promotion. This was not a, this was not perpetrated just by individuals gone bad. This was actually promoted within the church. This was the demonisation and the strategy to move people away from God, to hate because of the abuses put towards them. So this is like the hatred of the father that abuses the child, right? Or mother, whatever the gender, right? Doesn't matter which gender. And that this was the strategy to call people, well, to get people away from God and get people away from their break-up families and all that kind of thing. So they use, see, I'm going to say it because this is what I was saying, right? Like, see those 2 fingers there? Now, I don't really know what the symbolic meaning of that is. Like, that's peace, like, to me. It has several different meanings. And I have actually, to me, that's like pointing to the greater power, because I've used that. It just comes out naturally to me to position in that, pointing to the greater power, right? But this is not that, right? This is just how I've seen it with the corruption in the church, that these fingers were used for something else. And I'm just going to leave that to your imagination, right? That was the symbology I got from that. It was used to also demasculate and violate. Alright? I'll leave it like that. Anyway. But see, these are the ones that were taken out. This is taken out today. These energies are taken out today. So this is no longer going to be happening. And people are going to be able to return to God because those corrupt energies are going to be taken from the church. Because they were placed in the churches to be violators, to be handlers. I'll put it like that. Handlers. To corrupt the nations. This is God putting everybody in their rightful place. This is God taking away the corruption from the churches. God is redeeming his place in the world. He's taken these demonic forces out of the churches. Wow, this is pretty full on, right? Anything clarify, please, Stuart? Yeah, because this has turned people away turning children away, corrupting the children. This is the poisoning of the children, right? To hate. That's too much. Just one, please, for the Hierophant. One card for the Hierophant, please. Shit. Okay, you want more than one card, and that one. Oh, there, that one's back again. So this is the Six of Wands is actually a victory. So we've got a victory over the devil here. We've got the nest. And we've got the Queen of Cups, the feminine energy. And I'm talking, the nest out here was very symbolic because exactly what we've got going on here is what I've got outside here, where they ate the crow and they fed it to their children. Ooh, now what did that mean? This is like eating the crow and feeding it to the children. It's hard eating crow. So it's hard eating crow. That's eating what you've put out, taking back what you put out, right? This is what this is. It's hard eating crow. That's receiving what, it's reaping what you sow, and this is receiving that negative energy back. It's hard eating crow. So they've got to eat it, they've got to take what they put out. They've got to receive what they put out themselves. Ooh. Oh my goodness, I think there's some people here that are going to be going to jail and they're going to eat crow. They're going to receive what they gave, literally. Seven of Pentacles is this is the sowing, this is the investment, the nest, investing in the nest. So here we have the investment in the nest. This is the changing of this roles, because here we've got the mother here. We have got the feminine energy 8-8, which 17 is 8-8, which is 16, which breaks down to a 7 of Pentacles. This is prosperity. So this is bringing the feminine energy back to the church. This is celebrated. We need to celebrate this. This is bringing the feminine energy back to the church. This is beautiful. This is a victory. I got it, Spirit, I got it. This is going to bring prosperity, and it's going to be fruitful, it's going to be love, it's going to be, there's water, there's emotion here, like big time. And this is fertility. This is bringing back fertility. She's pregnant here, as the Empress is. She is the Empress. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Love. So this is investing back into the nest, into the home, into love. This is God putting everything back in its order. This is amazing. 6 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, 2-2, balance. 6 is, and we've got 2-2, that's balance with the 6 of Pentacles. Everything's going to be balanced out. This is establishing the mother in the home as well. Well, it's establishing the mother in the church as an authority, a balanced authority, because the mother and the father are both balanced in their authority in a home. It cannot be just masculine. It cannot be just feminine. It has to be the balance of the two, right? If you know anything about the story of Lilith and how she was the ruler way back in before Eve, and she was very much in her masculine, but that's too much of a long story. I can't tell you that right now because this is going to be a very, very long read anyway. But Eve was too much in the feminine. She was out of balance. She never had a balance of her masculine energy, and so she was able to be. That's how come she was deceived in the way she was. And then the masculine managed to be able to overpower Lilith because he didn't want to have that balanced Lilith energy. He wanted to go for the weaker feminine, who was not balanced in her masculine energy, so that he could be more powerful, right? So the masculine energy has got to this stage now where, because of their jealousy of the feminine energy, right? And now it's got so out of whack that nobody knows who they are, right? Okay. That is another story for another time. And we have the King of Wands. Here he is, the King of Wands, the ultimate masculine energy. But this one, he's in the upright. And this is the difference. This is the upright. He's 6/6 here is also a 3. The 3 energies, right? Because 6 and 6 is 12, which breaks down to a 3. But he is giving me the 6 as balance. He's in the upright. This is the King of Wands in his upright position. So things are going to be balanced out here. But there's going to be a storm, right? There's the storm. Okay, see those clouds? There's a storm brewing. This is the storm before the... And this has got to balance this situation out. We have a Page of Swords, Princess of Swords, 9/9, ending a cycle, a princess. A princess is here. 9 is 18, which breaks down to a 9, which is the end of a cycle. So this is the end of the cycle. She is the symbol of this ending of this cycle, and this is a princess. This princess could be responsible for a change in the masculine. Princess air is intellect, right? Could be responsible for a rebalance or a reboot of this masculine energy. Wow. Okay, death. Ooh. 8 of Wands. Got a mountain to climb here. The 8 of Wands is a message. A message on the mountain. 21/21, which is 3/3, which breaks down to a 6 again, which is balance. And we've got 8/8, because death is number, oh no, that's number 13, sorry. Death is 13, and then we've got 8 of Wands, the message on the mountain. Three is 6. 21/21 breaks down to a 6. Balance. The message is balance. The messenger is here. This was the message. The death was the message. The death of the bat, the death of the crow, the death of the toad. And that's 3. 3/3. So So masculine energy could be actually transforming here and balancing themselves out. Now this could be an actual masculine person. Nine of Pentacles again, and 8-8. The end of a cycle. It's the end of a cycle, completely, with this message. Somebody could actually be literally losing somebody. But for this masculine here, it could be just a transformation for this masculine because of the loss of something. Somebody may have lost something. Queen of Pentacles. Because did I not say that there was a princess? Somebody's intellect. A princess. Intellect. 6, 7 of Wands. Rats. They've got their guard up. 7 of Wands. The Queen of Pentacles. 8 of Swords. Somebody's trapped. What about 8 of Swords? That's entrapment. Somebody's stuck. They've got their guard up. Somebody's stuck here and they've got their guard up. They are. This could be a group of people. We've got 23-23, which is 5-5 again, which is change. Yeah, someone's got their guard up. They don't want change. Somebody's stuck in this energy. They don't want to change the situation. They've been stubborn. They don't want to give up their piece of the pie, I heard. They want to keep their rats around them, their minions. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody's about the pentacles. Somebody's about the money. It's about mine. See, I'm getting this, and they're trapped in that. So somebody's trapped in that material energy. So see this rat here, and they're eating all this themselves. These ones aren't eating, just this one. This is giving me this energy here. Mine. It's mine. It's mine, they're saying. It's mine. Shit. I think you keep getting that. It's mine. They're trapped in this material energy. And then I keep getting this guy's feminine, right? Look at him. But, you know, a little bit, he's out of balance. This is a minion. So we've got a masculine feminine and a feminine masculine here. This feminine masculine could be working for this masculine feminine. That could be their minion, you know what I mean? Like this. I just. Sorry, Spirit. Spirit just said this soft cock. That's funny. Or she might have said that to him. It's mine. She's going, it's mine. She's like really arrogant and masculine. It's mine. Somebody's like really hanging on, like they really got their guard up, like wanting to hang on to something. Because did I not say about it before? Somebody's sitting in a freaking junkyard and they need to let go. So someone needs to let go of something, and they're not letting go. They want to sit in their junkyard and go, this is mine, I'm not moving. I'm really arrogant. And then they've got this feminine masculine who's spirit called a soft cock. That's coming from Elric, God. Soft cock. Because she's getting order, or he's getting order, or transgender, you know, could be he, she, I don't know. But getting bossed around by this masculine, feminine, saying, this is mine, I'm not letting this go. She's really, really stubborn, this woman. Oh, Taurus energy too, could be. Could be Capricorn energy, could be Capricorn, Taurus. This could be a Taurus. Or Virgo. Yeah, this person's really stubborn. Okay, so clarify the Queen of Swords. This is Queen of Swords is coming along. Because did I say the Princess of Swords, or this is the Queen of Swords, has got the intelligence. This is a negotiator. See how she's got a sword up? She's got her hand out. So she's like saying, look, I can help, but you've got to let your guard down. You have to give something up. She's got her hand out, and she's saying to this other Queen of Pentacles, look, you've got to give here. She's reasoning. This person's reasoning with this person. This is a mediator. Queen of Swords. Clarify the Queen of Swords. It's almost like saying, now you need to give that back or I'm going to spank your bottom with this sword. You need to hand this over. You need to give this up. This is what this person's saying. This is almost like giving me like a police officer saying, now give me the gun. Give me the gun. You need to give that up. Wow, that's pretty extreme. Queen of Swords. And I'm going to cut you with this sword if you don't give it up. Ace of Wands. Is that meant to come out in reverse, please? That's 7-7. 7-7 is 14, which breaks down to a 5 again. 5. So 5 is change. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Wow. No, that's not right. So we've got an Ace of Wands. So a new beginning. There could be an offer. Oh, so somebody's offering somebody something. This is within the negotiations. So there's negotiations going on here. A 7 of Swords. But there's a deception in a message. And then we've got the 8 of Swords. This can also be like we've got 9-9 again here. This is the end of a cycle for someone. Somebody's been coaxed, like I said, to give something up. They're offering something here to this Queen of Pentacles to give up, right? You have to give up. But there's a deception. Like they might be saying, I'll give you this if you give me that. So this could be a deception. This could be getting the gun off of somebody and then locking them up. This is extreme. This is a negotiation with an offer. This is giving up, but there is a deception with this offer. But it is actually for the greater good, I just heard. Somebody's going to get locked up. Wow, Spirit. And then we've got the 10 of Pentacles. The way that just dropped off there. This is like, that. The way that dropped off is like, it was like that 1 second moment where somebody's been overpower somebody and get the gun. You know, they've been able to overpower somebody and get the gun. That's what just happened. Wow, this is amazing how this is coming out. And I'm getting emotional. It's like this relief. It's just like, oh my God, I just got this emotional relief. And then we've got a key. 6-6 balance again. 6 of an 8, and we've got the 8 of Pentacles. So this is work. So somebody's got the key to work, to make something work. And it was this Queen of Swords who made this work. And now they have a 10 of Pentacles. This can be a work situation because they hold the key to something. And a book is rewritten, I just heard. A book is rewritten. The book is being rewritten. Oh my goodness. So, whoever this is has negotiated to re-empower the church with femininity. Rewrite the book with, I just heard Magdalene energy. There's been a negotiation. The feminine returns to the church. The feminine returns to authority. Wow. Can't get over this. This is amazing. This is just amazing. This is the new beginning. Okay, justice, Spirit said. Okay, clarify justice. This reading is just blowing me away. Justice. Clarify justice. Okay, the Ten of Cups is in reverse. So a house is fallen. 1818, which is 99, it's the end of a cycle. A house, the old book has fallen. The house has fallen. This is justice, Spirit said. Balance is returning. So you know how everything kind of goes, like when things get out of balance and something is, leaning a whole lot one way and then people recognise that's out of balance, but then they go the whole lot the other way instead. So they think there has to be this way or that way, but it's not. It has to come in the middle and be balanced. So this is where we're at now, because we've already had those two sides happen. We had the imbalance of the masculine energy, and prior to that it was out of balance with the feminine energy with Lilith, and then we went to the masculine energy with this lifetime, this whole cycle since the Lilith energy up until now. It became the masculine energy that became over dominant. So we've been that way and then that way, so now we're coming back to alignment where everything's going to be balanced out. We've got masculine and feminine within every individual. So this is the fall of the house. This is the fall of the I don't know how to put it, masculine house, or I don't know how to actually put that, but this is the rewriting of the book. A new chapter, a new cycle. So we are starting a whole brand new cycle. The Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, coming in fast on this horse, 1-1, a new beginning. This is the new beginning. And this is giving me this man riding out on his horse, feeling good, things are balanced, the horse is in good condition, he's in the upright It's galloping out across the land. A horse galloping out across the land. The balance. The Messiah I just heard. Wish fulfillment. Wow. The horse. The symbol of the horse. The strength. This is balanced power. Do not be deceived, I heard. You see, the masculine energies are still trying very, very hard to keep us, or the demonic energies I heard, all watching the media and following all the news. We need to turn that off because we're giving power to that narrative. This narrative's changing, but you have to change the channel. Turn it off, right? Because the horse is coming, the Messiah is here. The balance is here. But see, everyone's been fed doom and gloom, right? The Armageddon, follow that book, follow that narrative of death and destruction. No. The Messiah is life, balance, life balance, peace, prosperity. I'm feeling a whole new era here with sunshine and butterflies and beautiful breezes. You know, just peace. Yeah. This has been a very, very powerful read. I hope you've enjoyed this because this is very positive. The wings of change is here. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, Lord, for our messages. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, our spirit guides and our ancestors for bringing this message for us today, and bringing the messages from God. And the way it was brought, and the clarity of this reading, it's very powerful. So let's just quickly end with a message from the angels of the day. Okay, the angels. Finishing message, please, Spirit. Finishing messages. Akaya. Keep your head down and try to be both serene and busy. Allow your eyes to be open, to be aware of everything. Be busy but at peace, you know. Don't be scared. Be at peace but keep your eyes open. Elamia. Today is a day of discovery. Look out for something new to learn. Well, I think we've had a big new learning thing here. Nathaniel. How will people remember you? What have you created that will stand the test of time? So being aware of what we're leaving behind, right? What we create. What we create is what we seed into this world is what we'll be remembered for. Alright? So we must be very, very aware of that. What it is we're creating. Because we write the script, right? We write the script. We have the power to make things the way we want it. Help us. These are our demon messages. So this is from the dark side. So we have the light side and we have the dark side. That's the balance, right? That's the feminine and masculine. What walls have you built around yourself? You see, that's what I mean by that's the dark side. So this is what is negative in ourselves. What is the darkness in ourselves? So in this case, we've built walls around ourselves. Some of these defences may no longer be needed. So yeah, we don't need to be defences anymore. And that's giving me like this energy here, this Queen of Pentacles wanting to hold on to that junkyard. You know what I mean? Not wanting to give something up. But that's the defences, the boundaries, because that's what makes them feel security. Secure is to have the material. The material belongings is what this person felt was keeping them secure. But Spirit's saying no, let it go. Okay. Belial, you must sometimes sacrifice a little to receive a lot. Again, that's letting go to be able to receive a lot more, right? But you've got to let go of the old to allow in for the new. There's a greater glory waiting for you. So somebody's been told here, and this is the negotiation, that whoever this Queen of Swords is has negotiated with this Queen of Pentacles who needs to let go of the material. Because there's something better waiting for them. There's something better, and that's the love of God. This is the new life, the new energy. You know what I mean? That peace and clear and clarity and just bliss, right? Some people don't even know what bliss feels like. They don't know what real love feels like. You know? So it's a shock to some people because they've never felt anything like that before. Not real love, you know. Gramory. The treasure hidden in a woman's heart yields love. What am I just saying? Affection and companionship. Be successful in seeking it out. So this is Spirit saying to the masculine energy to seek out the woman's love, you know, that affection and companionship. It's not about woman's love, because this is where men were very, very confused about what love was, and they just felt that it was like somewhere to, you know, lay their seed, you know what I mean? To procreate with. But that's not what love is. It's not about the procreation. It's about the affection and companionship. And then procreation comes with that, and then it becomes a healthy procreation, a healthy seed, you know. You have to have a healthy seed, otherwise it becomes or dormant or infertile. And this is looking for that feminine energy within, you know. As well. but also the feminine energy without for the masculine. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Please like, share and subscribe. I'm always open to donations. That helps me get these messages out. If you'd like to help out, you can. And I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope these messages are uplifting and bring peace, joy, happiness to everyone, right? Peace, joy and happiness and bliss. And I'll leave you there. Bye-bye.